In this video, we are going to be looking at sets. However, we are answering the sets question that have come in the Zambian curriculum, the ECZ past papers from 2016 all the way to 2020. So we are going to answer all the sets question that we have in 2016 Internal Paper 2, 2016 GCE Paper 2, 2016 Specimen Paper 2, and then we'll move on to do the same for 2017, 2018, and 2020. So we'll quickly begin our lesson. We are going to start with our first question, which came in 2016, and I'm going to read it out. So there we can see it on the other side of the screen. So I'll read the question so that we can all follow. Of the 50 villagers who can tune in to Kambani radio station, 29 listen to news, 25 listen to sports, 22 listen to music, 11 listen to both news and sports, 9 listen to both sports and music, 12 listen to both news and music, 4 listen to all the 3 programs, and 2 do not listen to any program. So our first question there says, draw a Venn diagram to illustrate this information. Draw a Venn diagram to illustrate this information. So let's quickly begin to draw our diagram. So we are going to start answering our question. So we're going to write 2A question 1 in that way. After we do that, we are now going to begin to construct and illustrate the information that we have been given on a Venn diagram. So we are going to draw the circles that we have. Make sure that we put them in the rectangle in that way. After we finish drawing our diagram there, we are now going to fill in the necessary information. So we are going to indicate that this is the universal set, which is represented by E there. Then the first circle will be for news. The second circle there is going to be for sports. The third circle is going to be for music. So according to the question, we have been told that 29 listens to news, 25 listens to sports, 22 listens to music, 11 listens to both news and sports, 9 listens to both sports and music, 12 listens to both news and music, 4 listens to all the 3 programs, and 2 did not listen to any program. So we can start by filling in first what is supposed to be for all the 3 programs that we are offered. So this section here on the middle part represents those people that listened to all the 3 programs, so we are going to put our 4 there. After we put our 4, we are going to make sure that we fill in these other spaces, the intersection there, which for those that liked news and sports, then we'll do for sports and music, then we'll do for the intersection for news and sports. So when we come to news and sports, our question has told us that 29, we have been taught according to the question, we have been taught that 11 listened to both news and sports. 11 listened to both news and sports. So for those that listened to both news and sports, they are represented by this intersection right there. So that part there represents those that listened to both sports and the news. That's the intersection. However, we notice that we've been told that the total of both of those for news and sports is 4, which means that for us to find the total number, which is 11, we have to subtract 11, take away 4, and it gives us 7 there. So 7 there, and when we add 7 plus 4, it will give us a total 11 for those that listened to both news and sports. Okay, having filled in that, we'll move on to talk up to fill in those that listened to sports and music. So for sports and music, we have been told that sports and music we've been told that 9 listen to both sports and music. 9 listens to both sports and music. So the intersection for sports and music is this one here. It will come there and then all the way there. So this intersection represents those that listen to both sports and music, and the total is supposed to be 9. We already have 4 there, so we subtract 9, take away 4, and it gives us 5 as to those that listened to sports. So that 5 plus the 4, it gives us the total 9 for the people that listened to both sports and music. And for the people that listened to news and music, we have been told that they were 12 in total. They were 12 in total. So the intersection for the people that took both sports and music is this one here, from here all the way to there. So this represents those people that took both sports and it represents those people that listened to news and music. So 12 is the total. We already have our 4 there, so we do 12, take away 4, and we have our 8 as the answer. Having done that, we are now through with the intersections. We will now begin to fill in what was the total number of people that listened to news. According to the question, we are told that 29 people listened to news. 29 people listened to news. And when we look at our diagram there, our Venn diagram, we notice that the people that listened to news, it's this circle, this whole entire circle. So this entire circle represents those that listened to news, and we are told that the total of all the people who listened to the news program, they were 29. And so for us to get the accurate answer for those that listened to news only, we are going to add what we already have. We have 8 plus 4, which gives us 12. 12 plus the 7, it gives us 19. So we're going to subtract 19 from 29. And when we do that, what we discover is that there we are going to have a 10. So when we add all these values that are in the circle for news, the total is going to be 29. We now move on to talking about sports. What was the total number of people that listened to sports? We have been told that 25 people listened to sports. 25 people listened to sports, and sports is represented by this whole entire circle. This entire circle here, it represents all those that listened to sports. It was 25 in total. So what was the number of people that are supposed to be in there? We already have 5. 5 plus 4, it's 9. 9 plus 7, it gives us 16. But what we need is for the total to be 25. So we're going to subtract 16 from 25. We're going to subtract 16 from 25 so that we are able to get the total number of people that listen to sports only. And if we do that, what we get is 16 take away 25, we have our 9 there. We'll have 9 there. We're going to have 9 there. And then now we come to music. What was the total number of people who listened to music? The question tells us that 22 people listened to music. And if we talk about music, we are considering this circle here. It represents the total number of people that listened to music. It's represented by that circle there. And so the total we've been told is supposed to be 22. So we are going to add our values so that we find the total. So the total is supposed to be 22. So we already have 8. 8 plus 4, it's 12. 12 plus 5, it's 17. So for us to get what we're supposed to put there, we subtract 17 from 22, and there it gives us 5. It gives us 5. Having finished filling in those circles, you have to remember that the question also said that there were 2 people who did not listen to any program. So the 2 people that did not listen to any program, we just write the number in the universal set there. So that 2 represents the number of people that did not listen to any program. If you do that in an exam, if it was the 2016 exam and you did that, you are rest assured that you would have gotten your full 2 marks. So we'll go and answer now question 2A, part 2. Look at our part 2 there. How many villagers, part 2A, how many villagers listened to music only? How many villagers listened to music only? So music only, we have a 10 there. That 10 represents music only. So you write your 10. Let's go to our part 2B. Our part 2B says, how many villagers listened to one type of program only? How many villagers listened to one type of program only? So to answer that question, we get our 10, which is independent, under news, representing those who listened to news only, and we get 9, which is independent, under the set for sports, representing those who only listened to sports, and we also get our 5, which is under music, which represent only those who listened to music only. Then you add them together and you get 24 as your answer. Nice and great. Having answered our part 2B question, we now go to our C, part 2C, which is our last question in 2016 paper 2, the internal paper. The question said, how many villagers listened to 2 types of music only? How many villagers listened to 2 types of music? Pardon me. How many villagers listened to 2 types of programs only? So for that one, 2 types of programs only, we are going to count these ones that were there, because this is the area which represents the people that listened to 2 programs only. This is the same for this one also. It represents 2 programs only, and that one also represents 2 programs only. So what we are going to do is 7 plus 8 plus 5. So we are going to add this. 7 plus 8 is 12. 7 plus 8 is 15, and 15 plus 5, it gives us 20. So there, 20 people listened to 2 programs only, and I think even these other ones were supposed to add people there to indicate that 24 people listened on B, 24 people listened to 1 program only, and on our A there we're supposed to have people also to indicate that only 10 people listened to news only. If you did that in the 2016 paper, give yourself a hand, you get the full marks for the sets question. Now we'll move on to go to our second paper, solving another sets question. We'll now go to the 2016 GCE paper so that we answer the sets question that is there. So just stay tuned and follow through even as we answer the GCE sets question paper. Okay, so now we are looking at 2016 GCE. It was written in July and it was question 5A. So I begin reading ahead of you. The Venn diagram below shows the results of a survey conducted at Mayuka Clinic on patients who were attended to on a particular day. Set W represents those who complained of body weakness. Set H represents those who complained of headache, and set F represents those who complained of fever. Okay, so question 5A. We're looking at those who complained of body weakness only. So the set for body weakness only, as we can see, it's here. W is going through there. 3 represents these people in here. They complained of all the weaknesses: body weakness, headache, and fever. The 13 represents only those that complained of fever and body weakness. However, 18 represents those who had body weakness only. So our answer there is 18. So we go to our B. 1B question says, those who complained of body weakness and fever only. Body weakness and fever only. So we go for the intersection of those that complained of body fever and weakness. It's this part. This is the part that represents the body weakness and the fever only. So this part is what we are putting into consideration, and what we get there is 13. Our C. Our question C says, those who complained of headache. Those who complained of headache. So the people who complained of headache only, it's the 6 that's there. So we just pick it right the way it is, like that. So there it's 18 people. Alright. 13 people. We have 6 people. And the second part of question 5A says, calculate the percentage of those who complained of all the 3 ailments. Calculate the percentage of those who complained of all the 3 ailments. Now, for you to be able to calculate the percentage, first and foremost, you need to know which number represents those that complained of all the 3 ailments. It's 14 over what was the total number of people who were attended to on that particular day. What was the total number of people who were attended to on that particular day? So for you to get the total number of people who were attended to on that particular day, you add all these values that you have in all the 3 sets. So you have 18 plus 13 plus 14 plus 6 plus 5, and you get your answer being 56. 56. So you have the fraction 14 over 56 and you multiply it with the 100. So once you do that, 14 times 100, 1400 over 56. So 1400 divided by 56, and you get your answer being 25%. You do that, you're home and dry, you're good to go. So quickly, without losing much of our time, let's go ahead and begin now to do the 2016 specimen paper, and let's answer the set question that came in the paper, the specimen paper as well. (2016) paper 2 specimen question 1B was a sets question, and I'll read it so that we're able to answer. Firstly, at Sankani School, there are 60 learners in grade 12. A survey was carried out to determine how many of these learners liked netball, football, volleyball, and the following were the findings. 5 liked all the 3. 8 liked football only. 4 liked volleyball only. 3 liked netball only. 12 liked football and netball. 21 liked football and volleyball. 18 liked netball and volleyball. question 1 of that question of our sets question says illustrate this information in a Venn diagram. So information has been given to us, so we illustrate it in a Venn diagram. So we'll go on. So we'll draw our 3 sets that we've been taught in the question as shown. Make sure that your diagrams are neat, they look nice. Okay, so there we have it. We indicate that that's our universal set, and then this is going to be our netball set. Netball set, then this one is going to be our football set. So that's football. Okay, and then the third one at the bottom is going to be our volleyball set. Volleyball set. So quickly now begin to fill in the information that we have been given. So start from the intersection for all the 3 sets. The question tells us that 5 liked all the 3, so we're going to put our 5 there on the video to represent the number of people that liked all the 3. And then from there we are told that 8 liked football only. 8 liked football only. 8 liked football only, so this one is very critical. So we are looking at we are told that 8 liked football only. So 8 for football only goes there. The second thing is 4 liked volleyball only. So you put your 4 there for volleyball only. And they said 3 liked netball only. You put your 3 under netball only there. We are told that 12 liked football and netball. So the intersection for football and netball is this one right here. So this is the intersection set for football and netball. We've been told that the total number of that intersection is supposed to be 12. So we say 5, take out 5 from 12, we remain with 7 there. Then we are told that 21 liked football and volleyball. 21 liked football and volleyball. So we are looking at this intersection right here. This represents those that liked football and volleyball, and the total number is 21. So we already have our 5 there, so we do 21 take away 5. It gives us something like 16 here. And then the last part, they said 18 liked netball and volleyball. So the intersection for netball and volleyball is this one. This is what we are considering. That's the intersection for netball and the volleyball. So it's 18, that's the total that we have. So 18 take away 5, you get your answer being 13 in that way. You get your answer being 13 in that way. So since we've now filled in, for us to prove if everything that we have done is correct, when you add everything together, it should give you 60, because we were told that 60 learners at Sankani school, they all took part in this survey. They all took part in this survey which was carried out. So when we count the total number of learners that took part there, the total should be 60. So let's quickly calculate and see if that number we have in the universal set is equivalent to 60. So we'll add 3 plus 7 plus 8 plus 13 plus 5 plus 16 plus 4, and we discover that the total is going to give us 56. If that gives us 56, which means that there is an x, or there is an unknown value which is missing for us to have 60. So to find that unknown x value, we do our x there equals 60, we take 56 to the other side, we subtract, and so our x is equal to 4. So now this 4 was not included in netball, in football, and in volleyball, which means that the 4 represents the number of learners who did not take part in any of the sports that were listed. So 4 did not take part in any of the sports which were listed. So now let's move on to answer our second question under question B there. So our second part of this question says, how many learners did not like any of the 3 games? How many learners did not like any of the 3 games? So for us to be able to find how many learners did not like any of the 3 games, this is simply the very thing that we are from doing here. This is what we've already done here to find how many learners did not take part in any of the 3 games, and what we found is that the answer is 4. And in our Venn diagram, we're able to see that 4 was the one that was outside, meaning it did not take part in netball, in football, or in volleyball. So there our answer is 4. Our third question was, how many learners did not like volleyball? How many learners did not like volleyball? How many learners did not like volleyball? So for us to answer that question, we are going to ignore all the values of volleyball. It's like we are taking away this, we are cutting it out. So let's ignore the values of volleyball and let's now consider whatsoever is left. How many learners did not like volleyball? So we have our 3 there, plus our 7, plus our 8, and plus our 4, which is there. And when we add that, the answer that we get is, that's 10, 18, 22. We get 22 as our answer right there. And we go to our fourth question. Under that, our fourth question says, how many learners liked 2 games only? how many learners liked 2 games only. So the learners who liked 2 games only are represented by, there is this area, that's 2 games only, that's netball and volleyball. We have this area represents volleyball and football, and we have this area which represents netball and football. So we have our 7 plus 13 plus 16 plus 16. And if we add 7 plus 13 plus 16, we get our answer being 36 learners. 36 learners, so that becomes our answer. So even there we have learners, and also there we include the word learners. Okay, so we have answered all the 4 questions. If you do that, then you get all the full marks which were given in the paper under sets. As you can see, there is nothing much that is difficult there. Yeah.